Welcome back to another episode on the Streets Podcast. I'm your host, Around the Way Girl, Anna, and today I want to talk about something that I can kind of relate to, and everybody know this infamous interview with Mr. Letter Star, if I'm pronouncing his name right, Mr. Whitfield, okay, on Dear Future Wifey, his podcast, please. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check it out, with Danae Jackson, okay, ex-wife of Derek Jackson, okay, everybody know, the guru relationship coach who got caught cheating when it was a big scandal. So I want to dive into that because I think it's very important that as young women really sit there and listen to that interview and listen to her discernment, you know, because what she went through, man, oh man, I know a lot of women who went through that. So let's dive right into it. So on Dear Future Wifey, Danae Jackson comes up to tell her truth because she did this infamous video, as we know is the Bonnet of Salvation. You know black people like to name everything, okay? And when her and Derek Jackson had got up there and recorded a video and talked about his infidelities and how he made a mistake and he loved his wife and yada yada yada, and behind the scenes this man was truly embarrassing this woman, okay? Like truly embarrassing this woman, and it's a shame. Like it's a shame. And when she talks about, okay, her abandonment issues, it don't start from when she married him. It actually started from years back, from her childhood and childhood trauma. So it started off with her dad, okay, abandoning her, and how he started to abandon her was, like she said in her words, from the womb, because when her mother and her father got together, they were teenagers, and they had her at a young age, and he wasn't sure if she was his. So when he found out, you know, she said that she didn't feel a connection, like she felt like he abandoned her, where she would try to do everything to get his attention, even be a tomboy to play football to get that daddy's love. And that's something I can kind of relate to. Well, not kind of, I can relate to because my father wasn't there. My father was in and out up until the time he passed, and I've always wanted that void. I always wanted that father's love, but my situation is a little different from hers. My dad knew all his kids. He just chose drugs and women above all of us, opposed to actually being a father. Her father had them young, you know, had her young, and started denying her from out the gate. So, like I said, with the abandonment issue there, I can kind of relate, because you know you want that father's love. And yes, she's right, it starts from home. It starts from very young, and we tend to attract the type of men that our father was. They always say a girl's first love is her father, and how her father treats her to determine how she's going to date throughout her life. Okay, so her trying to get her father's love and get her father's attention, and to the point she was going over there, and you know, him and his current wife now were arguing because of her, because she started, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily started things, but you know, just doing what a kid do, thriving for attention. And she said that he was sent to grandmother's house because sometimes she would cause problems, you know, and instead of dealing with it and asking and comforting her, say, hey babe, what's wrong, let's talk, you know, let's build this relationship, I felt like, you know, he was just pulling her off because he didn't know how to deal with it, okay, deal with her, or should I say, right? But then after that, she said she really didn't have that bond because her father died young, okay, her father died when she was 12. So she really didn't get that chance to fix that, and when that relationship and work on a better relationship with her father, he passed. So now that's the first, okay, childhood trauma she had to deal with, and that's abandonment issue number one. Her father passing, not really getting to build that bond, not really getting to, you know, establish that relationship with her father, get to fix what, you know, what was wrong in that relationship. Now at 19, she goes to college. Now she said she was a chubby kid, you know, So now she's talking about, her self-confidence. And it wasn't very high. Then she did a little modeling, but it wasn't significant. And, she talks about when she went to a party and she lied to her mom. And she went to, a college party, and I believe she said her brothers were there, some of her friends were there, and she ended up going down to the basement. And one of the guys who liked her, I guess, was intoxicated, and he pretty much raped her. As you know, as YouTube, we can't say the R word because we get copy strikes. He pretty much raped her, and she didn't tell nobody. She just buried that inside, and she didn't deal with that trauma, and she just acted like nothing happened. And statistics shows that most women don't report rape because they are afraid of what's going to be said. They are afraid of them being blamed for it. They are afraid of that. People would treat them negative and say that it's their fault. This is what happens. What was you wearing? See, because of you attracted him. And a lot of women are afraid to report. Not only that, they're afraid to report because they go through trial and then the rapist is acquitted. So now he's back on the street to terrorize other women, and let alone you too. So a lot of women just try to bury it and don't really deal with that trauma. Don't tell nobody. Okay, and that's another issue we have. We need to speak to our women, our young girls too, to let them know it is not okay for somebody to take advantage of. Okay, to speak. No matter what, if they're afraid, if the rapist tells them, if you tell somebody, I'll kill you, okay, you feel me? It doesn't matter. Tell somebody. Don't be afraid to tell somebody. Get help. Okay, so now she buries that. And she said 3 weeks after that happened, she meets Derek, okay, in college. So he comes up to her. And I think, as she's telling her story, how she met him, and how she fell in love, because this is what, he was showing me. He asked, at first, he asked her to him. Now, in my opinion, he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was the finest in the school, so he thought, the girls was after him. And he knew that it was like the ugly duckling situation. If I can get her, I can run my game. And no matter what I do, because she's self-confident, not self-confident, because she lacks self-confidence, she'll let me do whatever. So, let me sit there and let me get her. I felt like he knew from day one, when he saw the nigga, he knew he had a sucker. Okay? He knew he had a sucker. He knew that the fact that he would have been able to use her, abuse her, because nobody wanted her. So she was just not that appealing. Which, to me, when I see the podcast, she's a very beautiful woman. She's very confident now, and she speaks very well. She's very articulated. But in college, she needed work on that self-confidence, and he knew what he was doing. Nobody can tell me no otherwise. This is alleged. By the way, everything that I said is allegedly. It's just from my own opinion. I'm throwing that disclaimer. I don't want to get sued. I ain't got money. All they gonna get is my children. Okay? So I'm gonna throw that out. Allegedly. This is what I think. What he saw. And she really seen that she, in 3 weeks, like she was head over heels, because she never knew the difference between, a person who's using you to a person who truly, authentically love you. And from there on out, he cheated. The whole relationship, he cheated. Now, one thing I gotta give it to Danae Jackson, which I respect tremendously. She sat there and said, look, I was a willing participant. And that's another thing. She took accountability in her part in doing when she didn't want him to leave. So she put up with the bullshit. She put up with everything that he was doing and being part of the rotation of girls that he had, because she didn't want to leave him, because that's the man she only knows to love her. And the resentment she had towards him, to the point of using one of her friends to get back at him so he could hurt. And that might hurt him, but I felt like he used that as ammo against her to compensate what he was doing and what he was going to do in the future. You know, like she made a statement stating that he said, okay, oh, you cheated on your husband. And she said, no, I didn't cheat on my husband. Emotionally, I might have cheated on you before we got married, but I never cheated on you. But he used that as an excuse to go cheat on her. You know, and that is manipulation. Okay? Not only that, she discussed topics as far as when he would sit there and record these videos, these, you know, S videos in his phone, and she went through his phone and found them. And she would hide in the closet and cry. I know a lot of women been through that. So their husbands, or at the time their boyfriends, having sex videos in their phone and sitting there and watching it and getting mad and confronting with it, but yet still staying because it was afraid to leave the man, and having that pick me mentality of, see, I got the ring, you could just sleep with y'all, but I got the ring, baby. That don't mean nothing if he's not loyal. That ring don't mean nothing if he don't love you. That ring don't mean nothing if he can't cherish you and respect you. That man up and down disrespect her, and she allowed it, all because she wanted to feel love and wanted somebody to love her. And that's one thing another thing we need to instill in our young girls. Do not take that. A man don't respect you, it's okay to be alone, it's okay to walk away. Okay, this man could have brought her anything back. Diseases that she couldn't get rid of, herpes, HIV, he could have brought her gonorrhea, syphilis, all because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants. Okay, even after they got married, this man was sending emails, set up emails to his work email, knowing that she runs his business behind the scenes. So while he was getting successful, she was doing all that footwork, and she was running his business behind the scenes. And this man was still cheating. She said she went on tour with him, and there was women sitting on his lap, and he would not push them off, correct them. He wouldn't even acknowledge the fact that she was his wife. She had to say, I'm his wife. You know that, right? For women to be like, oh, I didn't know that. Nobody knew until he came up with that infamous bonnet video. Okay? Still trying to cover for this man. And on top of that, she was pregnant. So while people was making fun of her about the bonnet video, oh, she don't have her together, and look at how she looking nasty, she got the bonnet of salvation on. That girl was pregnant with a child. She said she wasn't feeling good, she was feeling dressed, she just wanted to dress it because it was affecting her business. And she stood by her man. Okay, standing by your man, a man like that, that's what it gets you, heartbreak. And it wasn't until she got the courage, okay, to step out and say, you know what, I ain't gonna do this, and leave and take her children, go to her mother's house and leave for 8 months, you know, to go back and to heal and seek the help that she needed, get the therapy that she needed, start to love herself until he wanted her back. And then when he got her back, he still cheated. He didn't value her. He just felt like he could sit there and come back and should do the same thing and take her back no matter what. As long as she sit there and she forgives him, everything's going to be okay. He's going to do what he wants. He can manipulate her. And when she said, not this time, I'm good, then he wanted a divorce. And it's so sad because a lot of men are like this to this day. But yet it's up to us as women to follow our intuition, to know discernment, to sit there and love ourselves, take care of ourselves, get to know ourselves. Okay, before we can't love ourselves. We cannot love other people until we love ourselves first. We have to do that self-healing first. And I had to learn that too, the hard way. I had somebody who manipulated me for 8 years. I was with this man and I loved him to death. Nothing he could do wrong. No matter what my family told me about this man was God to me. And it wasn't until this man kept cheating on me. It kept using me. It kept hurting me. And finally it had a kid of me. Is when I said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm done. I can't do this no more. I was at my breaking point, to the point I just didn't want to be here no more. And I had to go seek help. Seriously, I really had to go find help. And I prayed. And I prayed about it. And I sat there and I started to do self-work on me. And it's a battle, and it doesn't happen like instantly. It takes time. I'm still working on me. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring out who I am. And it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather be by myself than to sit there and let anybody take advantage of me. And I have 2 kids. And, I live for them now. I bust my ass and make sure that they're good. And show them, and I have 2 girls, and show them that loving yourself is more important than loving somebody else. You love yourself first, wholeheartedly. And when you need to take a step back, you take a step back. It's cool. It's okay. When somebody's not doing you right, cut them off. It's okay. It's good. You got this, And that's what we need to put in our women, our young ladies, self-work. Teach you self-work. That no man or nobody's worth you going through all this, breaking you down, breaking your spirit down, to the point that you just settle. And that's another thing we have on, YouTube and everywhere else, showing these young women, oh, let a man disrespect you. It's okay as long as he pay for everything. Ain't happening, Captain. No, not mine. We need to teach these young women where you don't let nobody disrespect you. Period. For their pleasure. Because that leaves you broken. And then it's a repeating cycle. Hurt people. You don't want to be in that cycle. When it's over and over and over and over again. Because you break down. You get worried. You're stressed out. So, back to the topic. At the end of the day, she came out on top. Okay? She left him. She got her shit together. She started her own healing group, which you can find if you look it up. Is it Danae Jackson, I think it's called? But if you look her up, Danae Jackson and what she's doing, it pops up on the internet as far as like her company where she started. And I think it's called Healing. Yeah, it's called Healing. And she's helping other women. She said it's an 8-month process because it took her that long, to heal. But I think, honestly, she's still healing. And like I said, it's okay. It might not take 2 weeks to heal. It's going to take a long time. And it's a process. There's days you're going to feel okay, and there's days you're not. There's days you're going to be happy. There's days that you're going to cry your eyes out. But it's okay because every day it gets a little bit better. Every day it gets a little bit easier. And she's helping women to heal from broken relationships. And I am so proud of her because she told her truth. Now, all these pick-me's, and the sad part about it is when you look up Devin Jackson, he still got almost 1 million followers. And then his side piece, this coleslaw number 2, decided to come out and put on TikTok on a post that I saw was, oh, don't be mad he picked me. Honey, ain't nobody mad. You can have him. You get him is how you lose him, baby. Or is it? Yeah, excuse me. How you lose him is how, yeah. How you get him is how you lose him. Okay, that's the infamous saying in the black community. Yeah, I know. We got a lot of infamous sayings. But yeah, how you get them is how you lose them, sweetie. Pick you. Okay. If that's what you want. If cheating, lying, manipulative, okay, self-centered person is what you want, go ahead. Y'all belong together. Enjoy that, honey. Go ahead and enjoy that. You see? You just be another woman in the rotation, baby. And that's cool. If you like it, I love it. Shit, I love it. But don't be coming back on Beyonce's internet a couple of months from now crying and screaming, oh, he did me wrong. He made me get abortions. He left me. How could he? I'm going to expose him for the man he is. sis. Has several seats with that, sis. You want to know? He was so proud to be one of his side chicks who he cheated on his wife with. Okay, abandoned his family for. And he got daughters. And that's the sad part about it, too. Sad part about it. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go and talk your ear off. Okay? So thank you for tuning in and listening to this brief podcast and me rant. Okay? If you're new, I meant to say this at the beginning. If you're new, please subscribe, like, and share. Okay? If you're returning, thank you. I wholeheartedly thank you for returning back to my channel and listening. And yes, guys, I am going to start putting out my podcast, my YouTube videos. Just bear with me. It's been a whole year. I am battling with depression and trying to get that under control, and that'll be another episode for another day. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm trying to get the hang of this, and with work, school, raising the kids, I gotta get it together. I gotta put the schedule together. But I really do appreciate people who tuned in and who really listen and subscribe. It's really helped me overcoming one of my fears and one of my bucket lists to actually start a podcast and to actually run a successful podcast. We're not successful just yet, but we'll get there though. We'll get there. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. And in the comments below, do you believe that she is fully healed? Do you believe she's partially healed? Do you think that she needs work and more work? And what does that look like? So let's start that conversation down in the comments below. Guys, thank you for tuning in once again. This is your roundabout girl, Tati, aka Anna, and I'll see you soon. Bye.